Well, I just thought we found a way to win. I think we were 4 goals down at one point, 4.5 goals down, and some of our ball use wasn't great, and just dug in and started chipping away from there. Really made a big effort to get back in the game.
Was that a really satisfying point that even though you weren't playing probably ideal footy, that they still found somehow managed to dig it out?
Yeah, sometimes you just got to do it. You just got to get there and get it done. And I thought, some of our ball use probably wasn't great. We kicked it back to them a little bit. We sort of missed some easy opportunities. I thought we should have gone forward and kick goals with it. We'd turn it over and go back the other way. So that made it difficult for us for a while. But I thought when Goodsy went in the midfield, he made a big difference for us and really changed the momentum back our way. Jude Bolton in the third quarter, I think, when he went in there as well. So we got a couple of our leaders really stood up, which was really satisfying.
Was that Adam's decision to go in the midfield, or was that something the coaches sort of thought, let's put him in there, we're starting to fall away a bit? No,
we put him in there. We were sort of getting beaten a bit inside. We didn't have a lot of players who were getting much of the ball, and we know what sort of a quality player he is. We'd like 2 of him, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. So we put him in there, and I just thought he was pretty instrumental in getting the momentum back our way.
Why are you looking the ball in the first half? Was that their pressure, or was that you organised for some reason?
I think that sometimes it can be a bit of perceived pressure as well. There was probably a few times when it was their genuine pressure, but then I thought there was probably too many times when we were out and had some easy whether it was running or just the ball was held up and we missed some opportunities. So that's something we've got to get better at. We kicked to them a bit too much, but that made it harder work for us, no doubt.
What can a win like that do for the team, given such a close game as well last week?
Well, it's the important thing from the team's point of view is that they get some reward for their effort, and we obviously as tight as it gets last week, and to get over the line, I thought there was a couple of really, really good individual efforts. I think Marty Matner's tackle on that last, where he really seemed to be 15 or 20 metres away from the Essendon player, Stanton was it? And I thought he just found a way to get there, and I thought there was a few instances of that which were really pivotal.
And O'Keefe as well, and also Hanbury, the way they sort of able to come out and catching the ball.
Yeah. I mean, they're sort of blokes that have, probably in a lot of ways the game now suits them even more. Players that can just run all day, and those 2 players are players that it actually suits. The game suits them, and Ryan's had a bit of a limited pre-season compared to what he normally has, but he's certainly running the game out really well now, which is good.
You used your sub early in the fourth, and then within a matter of minutes, Grundy's getting almost knocked out. Gary Rowland looks like he's hurt, and Dan Hanbury got a whole lot.
I think it was 7.5 minutes. I think I looked at the clock into the last quarter, and we were talking about what we were going to do with the sub, and we knew that Lover Murray'd come on. So, if we were making sure we got the calls right, and we're discussing what we do, and sometimes you just got to make a decision, which we did. Unfortunately, 30 seconds after we made those calls, we were sort of almost reconsidering it, but you can't do much about it. You just got to, and I think that from that way, I think the effort was really good. There was a few players cramping pretty badly in the last quarter, but they just got the job done.
Jude Bolton seems to have popped up as a heading forward for you, 3 goals in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's a smart forward. He knows where to go as a forward. He played a fair bit there as a young kid when he first started off, and I always said he'd be a good centre forward if he was 6'4". He just knows where to lead, and he competes really hard, and he's been finishing off his work. So I thought his game he kicked 3, and I think he had 10 or 11 clearances I think in the end as well. So he was pretty significant, Jude.
What will be saying were his best position?
I think he can play at either end. I know, I think that'll end up being the case with Sam. He'll play at either end, but at the moment we'd like him to play centre half forward. I think what that does to us, it allows Goodsy to be a bit more flexible and do what we did today, which is put Goodsy in the middle. So if he gives us a little bit of structure as a forward, he presents, which I think he's going really well. He's a fit young kid who just competes really well. I think he's a very promising player for us, and if he can hold down that key forward position, and that allows so much else to go on in regards to the team structure. So, I'm hoping at the moment he develops into a key forward. He's only young, coming off a shoulder Rico last year as well, but he's a really good kid, Sam. We'll have to sit down and see how Tyke pulls up. I was talking to him on the bench in the last quarter, and he was feeling great. He was wanting to go on more and play more time, but our conditioning advice was that we didn't want to tip him over either. So we'll sit down during the week. It's really important that we get his core right. We don't want to put him in a situation where he's at risk of soft tissue, which we'll talk to the medical and conditioning boys and see how he pulls up really during the week.
About the Rucks situation, you're happy to go with 90 predominantly, and then when CB and Blake looked okay in the reserves as well.
Yeah, it's we sort of haven't closed our minds off to anything. It really depends upon what we need for that particular week. We thought that Hill might have been a chance of not playing today. His presence certainly would have made a difference as well. So, it's a big ask for Mummy to ruck the majority of the game. Darren Jolly does it at Collingwood. I thought Jesse White did it at times for us pretty good. But we go to Perth next week against Cox and Nat Nui, Lynch. They've got some tools as well. So, we'll have to put some thought into how we actually set up with our rucks.
How's LRT? Played reserves last week.
LRT played 60 minutes last week, and his calf pulled up tight, so he went to train again on Friday and didn't get through the training session. So he was a bit tight, so we just pulled him up for the week and see how he goes next week. So obviously he won't be playing seniors. Yeah, it's just a couple of reasonably close games, put it that way. So, yeah, it's a tight game, and inches matter, and that's what sort of really stands out. If you get it wrong at any particular time, it can cost you a game. There's been a lot of close games, not just us, but look over the first two rounds. There's been some really tight ones. So you've really got to play the full game out, and every little contest matters. And that's really what I've taken out of our first two games. It's just such a tough competition.